Why hello there, ship mechanics. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Jump Space. Episode 2, Repairing Our Catamaran.
The wrecks we want to salvage are in a sector a few jumps away from here. Once you're prepared, let's make our way over there and look for those resources. But be warned, I'm detecting Legion signatures in the target sector.
So the first sector you enter into is empty. There's not going to be anything here, it's just a planning phase. So we have a galaxy map relay in this sector, and we have nothing in this sector. There'll be some loot. Now, if it says hostile outpost, it means you will have fighting. Sometimes you'll do a hop and it will be a safe outpost or a trade outpost or something like that. So they're not all combat. We're definitely going to go to the map, galaxy map relay. And collecting the map relays, when you bring them back to the hangar, it will unlock more of the galaxy map, allowing you to go deeper into the galaxy. And this is a 1-2 hop run. So it's this is the first jump, this is the second jump, and then we return to the hangar. Which is why this is about a 20-minute run or so. Right at the start of a run, there's a few things you can do. One, which isn't so bad, is to, if you're playing multiplayer, you should probably have your crew members that are not... Yeah, you should probably have all your crew members grab a fire extinguisher. In single player, there won't be a lot of fires, because in single player, you're mostly just going to be at the helm. So all of the damage that happens to the ship is reduced tremendously. But in multiplayer, especially the more players you have, things go wild on the ship. You'll have multiple fires, you'll have leaks, you'll have thruster failures, you'll have boarders that come in and try to kill you, you know. So let's go ahead and recycle this materia canister. Grab this small ship repair kit and drop the kit off right at the core, which is here. So if the core needs repair, you don't have to go hunting for a ship repair kit. You just grab it, slap it, done. There's virtually nothing else for me to do. I'm just going to make sure everything's plugged in. And they are not really in the configuration. I had them, but that's because I was in the prologue. And let's make a jump. So a tour of the ship. I kind of forgot to show this. You've got jump seats, 1 and 2. And then you have the weapons seat. So you have enough seating in the bridge for 4 players. The weapon seat is where your gunner will be. And in my case, Buddy the robot will be the gunner. But occasionally what I can do is I can set my ship on cruise control so I can do the gunning myself so you can see it. But this is the default assault cannons. And you can see on the left side of the screen, it's using up ammo. So I'll show you where to reload that ammo in just a second. Other parts of the tour. Now, some of the ship here is like broken and will get repaired over time as part of the story. I actually really like that your ship isn't really fully functional at the start. So like this area here is going to be the kitchen. And as you can see, it's broken and out of service. But as you go through the story, you'll actually unlock like a kitchen. All over the ship, you have these vents. When you have malfunctions and fires, often you'll have to go into the vents with a fire extinguisher to suppress the fires. So let me do this a little slower. You have the bridge. Down to the right, we've got the kitchen. Back here, we have the engine room, which is also where the power room is. So you've got the power grid. You've got your reactor. You've got your engines. You've got your auxiliary generators, which I have none at the moment. Now again, back up at the bridge, you've got your core, and eventually we'll have relic slots here. We haven't unlocked them yet, but when we do, they're very important. On the bottom, you have your teleporter pad. Anything that you have can be thrown on a shelf, except for artifacts. Everything won't break from jumping. Normally, you'd have the crew quarters this way. You've got your assembler. And at the moment, I can make like an SMG with materia if I wanted to, or med stims, fire extinguishers, or ship ammo or on foot ammo. I'm not going to bother. I don't need to. This is where you would load ammo into the ship. So these are the four boxes of ammo that the ship's main guns or all the ship's weapons use. Down here, you have one of the exits. There's another exit over there on the other side of the crew quarter. All right, down this way is where there will be beds and a toilet eventually. If you want, all the windows can be open and closed. Don't really matter. It doesn't increase your armor or anything like that. And then I'll give you a quick tour of the outside of the ship, just so that you have like a point of reference so you don't get lost. So at the top of the ship, you have 2 exits, and at the bottom of the ship, you have 2 exits. And this is what the ship looks. So this is an attachment point for special weapons. This is where your material canisters come up. This is where your shields are. So if you're trying to regenerate your shields, you have to come with the shield pack all the way outside and slap the shields in here. And there's 4 slots, one there, and then one on the opposite ship. Now that we have mag boots, we'll also come down. So now I'm on the underbelly of the ship. This is where the pilot weapon is. As you can see, this is really disorienting because this is like the bridge that I'm staring at, but I'm upside down. And these are like the bedrooms. Again, I'm upside down at the moment. So let's run right side up. So now I'm on the other side of the ship, which is symmetrical. So again, materia canisters, special weapons, and then the shield ports. If we float around, you can get a sense of the size and scope of the ship a bit. And you can see a lot of visible damage, which is what we're tasked to repair. So then down here is the front exits. And now that the tutorial's over, you can see that this is the cargo transporter. So anything you stick in here will end up at the cargo pad or the transporter pad inside of your printer room. This normally would be a periscope, but I guess it's out of order. So anything you stick into those cargo pads ends up being teleported here and not stacked pretty neatly too. I actually come to realize how nice that is. So again, you have cargo transporters here as well. And then sometimes in teleporter rooms, you'll have cargo transporters in there as well. But in single player, you don't really need to use those. So let's make our first jump. Yep, there's a rock in the way.
There could be useful valuables around here that will assist us on our journey. Let's find them.
Alright, so this is what she's referencing. Hop on the scanners and hold left mouse. There's a lot of stuff. So there's a cache, which has a lot of items. There's a buoy, which has a few items. There's the galaxy map. There are sentries here, which are stationary turrets. There's a gunship, weak fighters. Got it. I am going to go for the cache first, and I'm going to use middle mouse to click on it so that it pops up for me. Because as you can see, I wouldn't really be able to see the cache otherwise. It would not blend in. Some things that are a little weird. There is proper physics for your ship, but every now and then, enemy AI ships can, like, kind of go through walls and the like. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's kind of annoying. Oh, and there's materia here, which is the blue cloud.
Materia collected. Empty collectors to retrieve it.
Now, it's important, like, not to leave the helm if you have fighters around, because it doesn't take a lot of fighters to chip away pretty seriously at your ship.
Target acquired.
Oh, even more materia. And I'll warn you about enemy target locks. There's a whole bunch of different types of enemy ships. Some are far more dangerous than others. So like missile ships, mine layers, sniper ships,
Just what a core wants, buddy. Nice
corvettes,
shot.
etc.
Empty collectors to retrieve it.
But because we're really early on and we're on trivial difficulty on this run, we're not really facing anything of much consequence. Alright, so here's a cache. And I'm going to go collect it. So I hop out of the cabin. I am actually, before I do that, going to collect the materia collectors here. And send them down to cargo transport. And I find it's faster to just traverse the outside of the ship like this to get to the other... Oh, he collected that already. Okay, never mind. So I got a railgun, an on-foot ammo box, a deployable shield. There's also some loose credits and materia. And as far as I can tell, this whole cache has been grabbed. The deployable shield gives you like a dome shield around where you are when you're on foot. On-foot ammo box lets you reload guns that you have. With that said, a railgun is not something that can be reloaded. This railgun can only be ever fired 4 times, but it's like an anti-tank weapon. So if you're having to fight something really strong, you can liquefy it pretty quickly. With that said, I don't really think I'm going to have use of a railgun, but I don't really need the material for it either. So I think what I'll do is I'll just keep it for now to see if there's a valid target. And the ammo and the deployable shield I'm going to put in the bridge in case I need it. And then let's recycle that materia. So now our materia is up to 121. Alright, next target that I'm going to go for is the ship remains and then the buoy. So the ship remains is like a static debris materia field.
Materia collected. Empty collectors to retrieve.
And then there's a buoy here. Buoys aren't, they don't tend to have as much as like a regular cache. Like the golden caches that we had looted. Oh, I'm not going to board it just now because we're being targeted by turrets. Who's got a lock on us? You? Yeah, you. Oh, you're on the other side.
Weapons hot. Time to dance.
Okay, I guess I'm closer to the map, so I'll do the map next. Now, things like the map, you don't benefit from until you bring it back to the hangar. Meaning that if you fail a run, whatever you collect that you failed to secure is not brought back. That robot is like a suicide robot. It just like speeds towards you and tries to kill you. So this is a case where you can see the deployable shield. I can hold E to send it back to the ship. That's a benefit that you get when you're solo. Because normally you only have 4 item slots. So when you're like tasked to pick up a lot of loot, you're going to fill your inventory pretty quick. But in this case, I can tell Buddy to be like, hey,
Bringing it back to the ship.
bring it back for me. And he just does it instantaneously. Bit of a cheat, but it's one of the benefits you have when you're solo. And this is what a map section looks like. It's a high value salvage. You need to bring this back to the hangar to unlock it. And this is not something that Buddy can bring for you. You have to bring this yourself. It doesn't really matter where you store it on your ship.
Bring it back to the hangar.
All that really matters is that it comes back to hangar upon completion. So we can just like slap it on the shelf here or something. Alright, let's go to the buoy, which is just below us. Now, if you rocket jet too quickly, you can concuss yourself, FYI. which is kind of funny. You'll be like stunned. And maybe I can demonstrate that here for educational purposes. So let's see.
Got your six, as they say.
Zoom! Bonk. Oh no, that didn't concuss me. Guess I wasn't moving fast enough. It's very forgiving, as you can see. I'm trying to concuss myself, and I'll try it later. So in this case, we got scrap. Scrap is basically, unless it's a quest item, you really only ever recycle it. And if you're wondering about the cost of something, if you take a look at the ground, we get 15 materia if we scrap it, and if we bring it all the way back to HQ, the hangar, we get 10 credits. There right now isn't really anything to spend credits on, so don't worry about credits. And this is a second deployable shield, so I'm going to recycle that as well.
How do you do?
All right, now that we're ready for the next jump, this is the main the main objective location. And I'm just going to scan to make sure I didn't miss anything. There's one hostile here, but it's like a gunship that I'm not near. I don't need to go kill it. You don't get to keep like the loose print materia at the end of a run. So there's not really a reason to go hunt ships down unless you really need the materia. And at the moment I have 172 materia, which is like plenty of materia to maintain the ship. In my experience, the main objection. Why do I keep saying objection? The main objective.
Just don't end up like the other wrecks floating around. Grab what you can and bring it aboard so we can get out of here.
Scanners are detecting something.
The hop to the main objective tends to be the most difficult one. So as you can see, there's like about a dozen fighters. And then there is 2 salvage on 2 different locations that I have to go pick up. So let's get dogfighting. I'll go for the right group first.
Entering the combat station.
I have lost about a quarter of my shields, so I will print up a shield regen pack to show you the process of regenning shields. Not that I think I'm gonna need the shields.
Clearing out the materia filters.
What was Buddy just shooting at? Oh, apparently there's still hostiles here. And he killed them.
Parking procedure initiated.
Alright, just for demonstration purposes, I'll regen the shields. My opinion here, shields don't matter much unless you have artifacts that modify them. But you can print up for 30 materia a ship repair unit. Pick up the thing. Bring it all the way up to the top of the deck. Now, because I'm only missing 1 unit of my 4 shields, only 1 of these 4 are going to need replacing. So here it goes.
Shield unit installed.
Boom, done. And then this still has 3 more charges, so I can put it here so that we can use it to repair the shields. All right, next up, let's go get our salvage.
Never fret, Buddy's right behind you.
Thanks, buddy.
Hostile forces detected. You can leave some for me too, you know.
Threats neutralized. Oh, almost. Little flamethrower spiders. And we have three loot boxes. So on foot ammo,
No problem. I'll fetch
med
it.
stim,
No problem at all.
and a lance railgun. So this thing needs to be carried manually, and it can be installed on the ship as a special weapon. So I'm going to need to make 2 trips because Buddy can't pick these up. So let's go install this railgun. I'm going to install it
Found.
over here.
Install it and try it out. Return it to the hangar for analysis and upgrades.
What ends up happening is if we win this run and make it all the way back to the hangar, we get to keep the lance railgun and use it as part of the ship
I'm with you.
going
Better
forward.
end if need be.
That's a big gun to carry around in your pocket. You should see my my other rifle. Oh god.
Good find. Get that back to the ship, then keep looking for more.
Alright, now just because I've installed it doesn't actually mean it's powered up. So that's the next stage. Let's go power up the lance railgun. And this salvage here is part of the quest
Leave it on the
item.
ship and keep searching.
Alright, so if we want to power up the railgun, we go over to the engine bay. And here, as you can see, we've got the lance railgun plug. It's big, so we need to accommodate it. Let's see. No. Little Tetris. I'm not sure we can. Well, I don't really need sensors. So I'll just leave the sensors off. Because the sensors are not strictly needed to be on all the time. There we go. Sorry, sensors. And if we hop into the combat station, we have this lance railgun. Its weakness is it can't fire below horizon. Its strength is it hits like a truck. Boom! Very, very, very long cooldown, but it hits real hard. So it hits big ship targets wonderfully. Whereas the assault turrets can fire down or up because there's guns all over the ship. Now that I've used up, as you can see, I have 3 boxes of ammo on the left there. Let's go refill our ammo, and I'll show you how that works. Coming down to our printer. This on-foot box I'm just going to recycle. And the med stim I'm going to recycle. Because I'm not going to get hurt. Alright, ammo. Ship ammo. A 4-pack is cheaper than, you know, single. So I always do 4-packs. And the same is true of the repair kits. You know, 80 instead of 90. Way better. You pick this up. You stare at the ammo loader and you hit F. And it loads one of... So this is a 4-pack. And it loaded one of them in here. On single player, Buddy does this for you automatically. So it's not something you really need to do for yourself. I'm sure you're interested in seeing the railgun. So I'm going to bring the railgun to the next salvage. You know what? I might show you on-foot ship battles, because that could be even more interesting. So you can, if you want, fight ships flying around, like this. The enemy ships don't really perceive you as like a target. So this is more akin to like Sea of Thieves or something. But you can board enemy ships as a pilot and take them down. Which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna get close to one of them, hook onto it, and shred it. Here we go. This is a enemy gunship, and I can blow up components on their ship. Bye-bye, ship.
Empty collectors.
Now, unfortunately, the Catamaran is under attack because I left it. So it's one of the reasons why leaving on foot doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you have a good reason to. Luckily for me, Buddy just, you know, took the helm or took the gunner seat and started firing on the enemy ships. But there you go. You've got a little look at enemy shipboarding as a player. All right, I'm clearing out the materia bays. Then I'm gonna also recycle my railgun, or my railgun, because I don't. Well, I actually, you know, I take it back. I'll use it against the robots at the salvager site. And I'm punching in the coordinates for the next hop. That's like a really good thing to get used to doing so that you can make an emergency jump. Unlike a game like Void Crew where you can only punch in the exit coordinates right at the end, here you can punch it in at any time.
Purging the materia filters.
Parking procedure initiate.
Alright, I have a completely overkill railgun ready to go for this board.
Never fret, Buddy's right behind you. Looks like it's time to dance. A fine shot indeed.
Well, the railgun served me well. You charge it up, and you release, and it fires. And if you keep charging it, it like eventually breaks, or eventually fires. Oh, here's our first proper sidearm. This is the side clip. So guns come in different marks. This is a Mark II side clip. Or sorry, a Mark I side clip, which is a little bit better than the Mark Zeros. And we'll use that as our everyday carry. And one of the benefits of this is you get to bring it back with you. Oh, and a rocket launcher.
I can carry that to the ship.
I'll have Buddy carry that.
That's the last one. We've got what we need. Time to go.
Okay, so we have both pieces of salvage. As you can see, the railgun does disassemble, but not for very much. I'm going to hold the rocket launcher, and I'm going to hold the on-foot ammo. And let's warp out.
Initiating takeoff. Entering jump space. Hold on to your helmet.
We didn't get intercepted, so we get to the hangar. And this time we got an ingot, which is upgrade material.
Great work. You found a new component. Install it and try it out.
So this is what's kind of important. Look at my inventory. I got to keep this stuff. It rolls into the next mission. It means that if you're embarking on a really hard mission and you don't have guns on you, you're going to have a really bad time. Sometimes you need to do an easy mission so you can build up the supplies to survive a harder mission, which is a pretty neat concept. But I have a rocket launcher, I have on-foot ammo, and I have a side clip, all that I took from last mission, plus the resources that I got. So if we take a look over here, this is our Lance railgun.
Sure, I'll get that installed.
And now that we have the blueprint for it, I have 2 of them.
Good to see you. Great. This is almost everything we need to repair the ship. Good job.
All right. What's next?
All we need now to restore the ship are some drift stabilizers. Unfortunately, they are harder to come by.
I have been able to find drift stabilizer entries in the cargo manifests of some crashed freighters. The reason for the crashes is unknown, but Legion involvement is very likely. You should expect heavy resistance.
This is going to be a tough one. Please, be careful out there.
So as Board Drake mentioned in chat, these items that I brought in will not have recycle value for materia, meaning that you can't just like upstart your economy on a new run, but you can upstart your armaments. Also, Bozzy has something to say.
Nice, you made it. When Barrett asked me to do this, I thought being the quartermaster would be easy. But then I realized we don't have any supplies at all. Even when I occasionally meet up with traders, I have nothing to trade for. Look, whenever you are out there, please try to haul back as much loot as possible. Everything is valuable. I'll make sure it gets to people who need it.
So at the moment, there is not stuff to buy with your credits, but I suspect eventually you'll be able to spend credits to outfit yourself a little bit for the start of a new run. I'm not exactly sure how credits will work, but he's asking for us to bring home 200 credits worth of salvage, and our reward will be a new helmet. Got it. Thank you for tuning in to Jump Space, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow adherents.